is Wednesday. You know what Wednesdays mean? We are eating our lunch across the street from McDonald's. We've got beef, eggs, jalapenos, and cucumbers here. Classic meal. If you've checked out my Instagram, you know this series is all about asking why are people eating at McDonald's. So we're gonna take you through that right now. You're gonna see the process of me creating that reel. You can watch me eat my lunch a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Maybe you can count how many cars we see pulling in and out of that lot, going through the drive-thru. It is astounding, astounding. Because there's no reason. Why are we going there? If you can see, the other thing we can look at is we've got Trader Joe's right next door. If you look down a few buildings to the left, you've got a Dunkin' Donuts and a gas station that advertises a restaurant. So it's a little crazy out here. And just for a little bit of context, when I'm doing these videos, we're recording from the backseat trunk of my car. As you can see, it's a nice spot to eat, get the vitamin D in. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and record this reel so you guys can get a little peek into my soul. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. We are back again, eating our lunch across the street from McDonald's. It is the question as old as time. Why are we still going to McDonald's? It's this simple. It tastes great, fuels you. It's eating intentionally. What's up? Now, I used to view going to get McDonald's as a reward. Right, I always wanted it. It was a good thing. You're a kid driving with your parents. Can we please stop at McDonald's? No, we have food at the house. I used to look at working out and hard work as punishment. Eating healthy was a bad thing. I didn't want to finish all my veggies. There was a point when I broke my arm and I was dealing with depression, with weight gain, with being lost in my identity, that I had the realization that all of this exercise and trying to eat better, I was viewing that as a punishment. Anytime I had a negative thought, it was, all right, I'm going for a run. That one kind of ripped. I got a long video out of that one. Sometimes it's a lot of fast takes, right? I got to do one sentence at a time, and then I'm cutting it up. I'm going back, deleting, re-recording. It's hard to get good lighting here. I'm freaking amped up right now, though. I'm eating lunch in the parking lot of my other job. I have a few. I don't know which number you would call this one, but I am a group fitness trainer at a gym here in Burlington. It's called Muscle Mind Movement. It's a good time. It's fun. But I have a little free time on my Wednesdays. I like to bring my lunch, camp out here. Oh. Currently counting a 4-car line at the McDonald's drive-thru. Crazy how that works. But in recognizing this mentality of viewing workouts and dieting in a punishment light, it makes no sense. So what I've had to do is I identified this issue. It's a problem to think that way. In identifying it, I've been able to reframe my mindset into this intentional living, this expanded awareness where food is fuel. I eat things for a reason. I work out for a purpose. So I no longer view these things as a punishment, but as a service to my life. I am so blessed to be able to eat in a healthy way, to be able to work out so hard. My body works. For a while it didn't, now it does. It's an amazing thing. And to think of that not in the most positive of lights, but as a punishment, as something negative, huge mistake. Maybe I'm getting a little worried. This one might have to be cut up. I'm trying to aim for 1.5 minute videos. So we'll see. The point is, right, my mentor's been telling me you got to go top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. Right? So the top of funnel is any of the viral hits, you know, things that are going to give me a ton of views. I haven't really had any of those. Middle of funnel is things like story times and series, recurring types of videos where people are going to keep coming back to your page to view more. And then bottom of funnel are things that get people to interact, get people to jump to maybe to YouTube, to reach out to me personally, get people to contact me looking for this work, looking to get primal, as we've discussed. I'm saying all this just to tie back to, why are we eating at McDonald's? What is the purpose? How is that serving you? And don't get me wrong, I love to eat it every once in a while, because sometimes taking a rest, eating junk food, being lazy, it can serve a purpose. But to these people going in there Wednesday at noon, why? Like I said, there's Trader Joe's right over there. We'll get to Trader Joe's another time because I'm not the biggest fan of that either, but it has to be a better option than going to McDonald's. All right, so from this point, right, I think I've recorded everything I want to. I've said everything I want to say. So I will go through, add it all to, I use edits to edit my videos. We'll cut them up, see if we can't form a cohesive thought here through this whole thing. We'll see. Maybe it was just the ramblings of a freak, some may say. I like to say beast, animal, man, who knows? But all right, we'll get it going. All right, no, I'm done with this. I'm gonna eat now. Quick show again. I'm basically just gonna mash this all together. All right, that's my classic go-to. A little over easy. 1/2 pound of beef, cucumbers, and jalapenos. Cheers. Guys, don't worry. Primal is still centered around yoga, around yogic Ayurvedic philosophy. We're blending it with my own knowledge, experiences, and research. So here we are at my home studio, Yoga Moves, in Stoneham, Massachusetts, owned by my mother. It's a nice, warm, welcoming community and space. I will still be making the yoga flow content that you all know and love. All right, but for right now, I have about 1.5 hours before I'm teaching class at 6 p.m. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll out my mat. I'm gonna do a little bit of my own meditation, breath work. I have to plan a class for tomorrow, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into my journal a little bit. I'll go ahead and show you. For starters, I'm currently reading the Gulag Archipelago. I've read this once before, but I am in a book club with a couple of friends, and we've decided we're gonna read this for the next one. It was my idea. Love this story of truth of communist and Soviet era Russia. Yeah, so I might read that a little bit before class, just for funsies. And then I write every single one of my yoga classes in a notebook. I like to write a little poem that goes with each class, though I have not read it out loud in a single class yet. It gives me an idea of the emotions I'm feeling, the vibrations I'm bringing into class, and allows me to set some intentions. I've gone through 2 notebooks since I've started teaching. It's a good amount of classes. I just like to be able to look back at them, see how I've progressed as a teacher in movements, and draw inspiration from old classes. It's fun. It's nice to have these. Maybe one day I will share them with people, but we'll see. And for this next hour, I will probably record a nice little Instagram reel because I posted only one today and it wasn't a talking one, so I'll probably do that as well. So, cool. Today is Sunday. I am getting ready to put the video together for the week and thought I would give just a little end of the week talk. I think some stuff I was dealing with this week. I had a lot of opportunity to assess my awareness and where I'm at. And sometimes that hits you in the face and you feel like you're not quite where you thought you were or where you would have liked to be. And as much as that is sometimes hard to confront, being able to sit with myself and have those tools, have the time to be able to do that, I'm able to work through those. I'm not purely emotional. I'm not purely reacting off of emotion. Sometimes I do. And I think there were opportunities this week that I did do that. But rather than start talking negatively to myself and calling myself an idiot, it's why? Why are we acting in that way? What are we trying to accomplish? And what tools and steps we need to take to get there? I've posted on Instagram talking about my core values and kind of the code that defines me and that I try to live by. I try to say that every decision I make aligns with that code. And maybe this week not all those decisions did, but it's just course correct. A single day doesn't define me, a single moment doesn't define me. It's that even if I stumble off of the path, I can find my way back on. The name of the game is stacking wins and cutting losses. It's actually a funny week because I canceled my 2 yoga classes that I normally teach on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And ended up emergency subbing 2 classes, one on Thursday and one on Friday. And those classes were great. I get great feedback. But sometimes I get very insecure about my teaching. That I take things too personally. And I've talked to people about, why can't we separate business and relationships? Why do people feel so strongly about it? 100%. I can understand when you're there for a long time or when you're building something that it's really hard to separate yourself from that. When an employee or somebody complains to you about something in the restaurant, right, I'll take it personal. Rather than, it's just, they need to say it, they need to get it off their chest, and it's okay. I can be there just to listen. So, yeah. We'll see if any of this even gets in the video. I was feeling more inspired this morning, and now I don't really know where this went. But it's kind of nice to be able to just sit in front of the camera and talk, and let my voice go. So, we'll see. We'll see you next time. Back again next Sunday. Gonna try to start posting twice a week. I want to get back into posting my yoga. So as the time clears up and I can get a little bit more organized, we're gonna get back to it. We'll see you next time. Let's get primal.